I dropped my PSN a few videos ago, and if you feel like I haven't gotten to you and accepted it, is because I've got like a couple hundred people who have asked to be my friend on PSN, who have added me, and I've gotten to about 150 of them. And so if I haven't been able to play with you, I played with a few of you guys already, but I haven't been able to play with you is because not only am I dealing with a surge of friend requests and people that actually want to play the game with me, but me and my wife have been playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's a series that I've been waiting for since Kingdom Hearts got me like,
here you go, Peter. It's on the house.
So, what do you think?
Killing. Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
So yesterday's video on the Saiyan curse was actually well received and got a lot of support from not only the community but other YouTubers that aren't even Dragon Ball related. So I'm actually extremely appreciative of that, but I would be amiss if I didn't tell you guys the one thing that kind of got to me in the comment section, and that is the continual roasting of my Dragon Ball FighterZ abilities. Yeah, that was gameplay from me. Actually, the gameplay you're seeing now, that's also the same gameplay from yesterday's video, and I wanted to put it back up on this video because I finally beat the story mode for Dragon Ball FighterZ, but since this is a Dragon Ball FighterZ centric video, I wanted to get your guys' perspective on the gameplay that's happening in the background and what I can improve on. You guys were giving me tips in yesterday's video, but that video was on a different subject completely, so I wanted to focus this one on you guys helping me get better at Dragon Ball FighterZ, because I thought I was doing pretty good for not having played the game in like, I don't know, 5-6 months. It really fell off because not only am I not that good at fighting games in general, and I'm trying to get better. Remember, if you're bad at something, practice, 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 and you will eventually be pretty okay at it. And so that's kind of what I've been doing, but I actually wanted to beat the story mode, as I told you guys maybe a month ago, because I didn't have Android 21, but now I own her and she feels amazing. She's by far one of my favorite, if not my favorite fighter in the game, because of how swift and agile her movements are. She's extremely swift, extremely fast. She's basically a fusion between Frieza and Kid Buu from that game. At least that's kind of how I feel when I play her, and I definitely just keep her on my team. Plus, she's got this adorable animation as her finisher, so I definitely am in love with this character. Now, when it goes to the story itself of Dragon Ball FighterZ, I gotta tell you guys, I don't like the story that much. I'll be more honest, I'll be more direct. The first two arcs completely suck. They are, all three of them are grind fest. You grind your ass off throughout all three arcs. I think the third one is the longest grind, and it is terrible. Of course, you're gonna get your fighting capabilities up, or at least better than if you hadn't been grinding, because how repetitive each fight is and how many of these zombies you have to kill, which is a storyline that seems to be in a lot of these games that are Dragon Ball or anime centric. I mean, Xenoverse had similar thing, and now Jump Force seems to have the same thing. So I don't know, I guess the anime games need to have a lot of fodder characters that are clones of our characters but a lot weaker. Either way, the first two arcs suck. The second one is a little bit better because you get to see a lot of interactions within the villains of Dragon Ball that you normally or never get to see.
It's time you had a taste of the hatred, smoldering over years, waiting for this day to come.
You're not the only one with a bone to pick with Goku. I'll be the one to get rid of him and his son.
Him and his son? Oh yes, that's right. You lost to his son, didn't you? I do hate missing a good fight. It was when he was quite young as well. Do you really think you, who couldn't even handle his little brat, can handle Goku?
Remind me, who was it again who lost to Goku twice? Let me think. It wasn't me, so...
So sorry. I'm afraid I can't let you get away with that little remark. Shall I dispose of you first?
You dispose of me? That's rich. I do enjoy a good chuckle.
But it's just not satisfying. The first two stories have no significant points that I really enjoyed. Remember, this is me. I don't like games that are grindy, that have repetitive missions and fights, and that's basically all they are. Unfortunately, I'm thinking that's kind of what Jump Force is going to be too, but I'm hoping that there is an interesting story. Similar to how the third arc had an interesting story, it follows the androids, and basically 21 kidnaps 18, and what happened is that they created these artificial souls to put in the main characters, all the characters that we have in Dragon Ball FighterZ, because their souls are gone from some shenanigans that happened earlier in the game. Now, if this sounds very vague and like I don't know what the story really is about, I really don't, honestly. Like, it's extremely confusing, and I try to get the gist of it from what I got. I don't like the whole story thread where you're a soul inside 18, Frieza, Goku, and it's not really them, it's you. I don't like that storyline at all. It just seems very messy and convoluted. But the third arc has a lot of really cool interactions with 21. That's the one where you're gonna get the meat of 21's backstory, and there is an aspect of the backstory that I really didn't like that much, and that is that 16 is modeled after 21's son. I always thought that 16 was modeled after Dr. Gero's son, at least that's what I thought, but unfortunately that's not the case, and I feel like that takes away a little bit from Dr. Gero, but it does kind of cement 16 and 21 to be this team, and it does make, in the third act, 16's death actually impactful. And I'll be honest, I actually really enjoyed that scene. That's probably my favorite scene from the game, especially when the evil Android 21 eats Cell and kind of transforms and looks a little bit like him. I like that part. I don't know why. I just like the design. I like the way that her skin gets darker, like sort of like she's infused with green and she's got those spots on her. I don't know why. I just like that design. And of course, any Dragon Ball game, storyline, anything related with Dragon Ball would not be complete without Goku coming and saving the day. I'll be honest, as much as it's worn out that Goku comes and saves the day, this scene I loved. I liked this scene a lot. When Goku got there, I was like, oh shit, Goku's about to tear Android 21, the evil version, a new one. And when he got there, you could definitely get the main character vibes, like Goku's about to mess her up. Unfortunately, we don't fight her then. We still have more grinding to do until we get to the very end, where not only is she killed by a spirit bomb, which, again, stop it. Stop killing people with spirit bombs. But the good Android 21 is also killed. I know.
What a twist!
But Goku diminishes her sacrifice by saying that he's gonna ask King Yama to reincarnate her so she can come back just like Kid Buu, which, whatever. We get more Android 21, that's all I'm happy about. Now, my biggest nitpick with this story is that it really just focuses on Dragon Ball Z, which is one of my main complaints with a lot of these Dragon Ball games, and that's kind of the reason I'm not so excited for Project Z, because they're focused mainly on Dragon Ball Z, and I've been playing Dragon Ball Z centric games since I was in middle school. I've played about all of them, so I know how the story goes. Even Xenoverse had it, Xenoverse 2 had it, and so it gets kind of stale when you're playing the same storylines over and over and over again. Unfortunately, I think that's how the Project C is gonna go, and that's sort of how this went. I mean, we have access to Hit, we have access to Super Saiyan Blue, and I mean, we have even Super Saiyan Rose, but we never see any of these characters in the stories. We never even get to see the transformations of Super Saiyan Blue, which I feel like should be present at least in the storyline. So it's a huge ball dropped, huge disappointment on that front. I want to see some Dragon Ball Super stories. I want to see Planet Sadala. I want to see Jiren's homeworld. I want to see different stories from Dragon Ball focused on Dragon Ball Super. I mean, some people like Dragon Ball Z more than Dragon Ball Super. I gotta say, I'm one of those people, but once you've been playing Dragon Ball Z storylines for so long, it feels like it's sort of stale when you have this plethora of new material with Dragon Ball Super hit storylines. You got Broly now, you got Moro that you can incorporate in video games, and they're just dropping the ball and not doing that. So I feel like this story would have been great, and if there's a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, then I think that story could benefit from having more Super in it. Despite the third story being better than the first two, I think the entire story mode is just a waste of time. I don't think that it's fun. I think that if you really want to grind and get better at the game, there's arcade mode that you can do. You can fight against friends that are willing to take it easy on you. So I didn't really think much of the story besides the inclusion of course, Android 21, because that is by far the best thing that came out of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Besides the combat and the fights feeling like they're ripped right out of the anime series, these are the best Dragon Ball fights that we've gotten so far. And I've already talked about this in another video about a year ago when I actually reviewed Dragon Ball FighterZ without really playing the story mode, but I was mainly focused on the online fights and everything like that. Anyway guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of Dragon Ball FighterZ story mode. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? And of course, make sure to offer some helpful criticism on my Dragon Ball FighterZ online gameplay and what I can do better to be better. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care guys.